Welcome back to the second episode in this groundworks series, I'm going to call it. It's concrete day today, so we're just doing our final checks before it arrives in about an hour's time. So let's have a look. So if you watched the last episode, all the metal works in. This one is ready to concrete. And then we're concreting in all here, across here. Round the, quite possibly the best boxing I've ever seen in my life. To go around
The best boxing.
The best, that's what I said.
Yeah.
The best I've ever seen.
If you said possibly, I'm sure.
Have a guess who did the boxing? And then we're, yes, he did that. Ignored the fact that I'm the carpenter and he did it when I wasn't here. He did the same over there as well. I come back and he was cutting wood up.
Cut me in the act, yeah.
Disrespectful. I wouldn't lay bricks. I wouldn't pick a trowel up.
You did on the last video.
Shh. I make my point here, don't tell everybody. So he's concreting this as well. This bit here is what's called a thickening for the existing footing, for add more strength. But that doesn't get done until the floor's ready to go. So in other words, we've got to make this all up first in our hardcore, and then we concrete all of it over. Drops into there. That's called a bit of a toe, did you say? Almost? No, that's a toe.
That's the toe, yeah.
Imagine an elephant's foot that's sort of shaped like that. That's called a toe. That's just a thickening. And then we'll pour the whole lot. It'll drop into there. So I suppose almost form another toe, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'll drop down again.
Yeah.
And then we'll pour all this in one go. We've got to put mesh on top of here. And then it goes within the floor as well. So we'll put it on the spaces again, I'm presuming?
Yeah.
On top of the hardcore?
Yep.
And then pour all of this in one hit, the lot. But we've got external brickwork to do first. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch all of that. And if you like this video, then please click the like button as well. Should we do our final checks for concrete?
Yeah.
Let's do that then. So when you're checking anything, you need a datum. And in this instance, our datum is the finished floor level. So that's the first thing we've got to do.
Choose.
So you set your laser. We've had people talk about your laser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
IMEX.
An IMEX.
Yes, yeah.
IMEX.
Yeah.
IMEX.
I think
Okay.
if you search IMEX rotary lasers,
Yeah.
it'll just come up and it comes in a nice little box like that.
Oh, this is the full kit, isn't it, this one? This is
Yeah, so you get
the
these.
one that's got the laser, the legs, the actual stand with all the measurements on, not that, it's just using that for now, and the receiver
Yes.
in the box. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and how much was that? Don't mind me asking.
I think it's 330 odd quid, so
So
it's quite
pretty
good
good
value,
then.
really.
As a full kit, if you
Yeah.
want a full kit.
Yeah, yeah.
Sound.
And it's perfect for stuff like small extensions and little bits like that, I think so.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you can get different ones, can't it, with longer ranges, so you can stand in the bottom of the garden and,
Far
but
up,
we
yeah,
don't need that,
yeah.
do we? Don't need that. Right then, so after you've done that,
Yeah.
what are we doing now?
So I'm going to work that then now to, so that's my finished floor level.
Yeah.
So I'm going to work that 7 course down from finished floor,
Yeah.
which will be
That's your top of concrete.
top of concrete.
Because it's
finish
always best to, you said before, always best to gauge your top of concrete
to my
to
brickwork.
brickwork,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than to the cuts
Yeah.
or bump it up.
Because then I'll know because otherwise I'll be able to sync with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So concrete's always got to work to.
Now you've always
to
done it.
gauge.
You've already done it, haven't you? You've already put some screws in there,
Mm-hmm.
sort of set and spray. But because we've been in there messing, doing the cage and everything, we're going to check them, aren't we now?
Yeah.
Just before they come, so we can make sure it's level. So we're going to do that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully the concrete will turn up. And that's going to be us for the day, then, though, isn't it? Even though
Yeah.
we only just got here.
Yep.
But we are going to our extension build, aren't we, next?
Mhm.
So you may or may not have already seen us there, not knowing we've been here. But anyway, you don't mind, does he?
No. I want to play with some more wood. This is what I want to do.
I don't think so. You've had your yearly quota. So the pump's turned up, started setting up. We've been round and got as much of any bits that have dropped into the bottom of the footing as possible. So we're now waiting for the concrete wagon. I'm quite excited. And then we can get onto our extension job and get some done there as well.
Only for a couple of weeks. Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on there, mate, for a minute. And that final spurt signifies a lot of things. The end, but on this occasion, signifies the concrete's complete, isn't it? We're just doing the tidy up now, cleaning some tools, because that bit of a spurt of concrete did go a little bit on the laser, so we're just cleaning it up now. And then we're just going to get ourselves away. We've dappled it, we've dipped it, and we're happy, aren't we?
I am, yeah.
Happy, in the sunshine. We haven't done concrete in the sunshine for a while. The past two I've done have been in the pouring rain, haven't they? So it's nice to have a bit of sunshine for a change. So that's it then. We'll see you in a bit. So we're back. Concrete has now gone off. Brick is just giving a little bit of a sweep, and then we're going to start setting out for our brickwork, aren't we?
We are.
Corners setting out first, obviously.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you and me can then work out what is exactly going on in terms of the way it's being built. It's all arse about face.
I don't really know myself.
Outside brickwork, but the inside brickwork doesn't get built till they've poured the floor.
Oh.
Because of the radon barrier and because of the structure. So we'll
And
get
that's
on with
all-
it.
And that's all going to sit on top of all that steel. That in a course, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, our water's not burst or anything, so that's a bonus. Should we do some brickwork? I say we.
I had a number of it.
You haven't actually, have you?
No.
No? A little bit on the steels on the other job,
True. Yeah.
but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've cut our ride-on barrier to the width that we wanted it to, and we've drawn a pencil line on the footing, which we're going to lay our blocks to. We've set our ride-on barrier 50mm back, so we get a mortar bed both on the footing and on the ride-on barrier, so that'll create a nice seal all round there. We've taped our joints and referred to the guidelines that we found on the bag that the ride-on barrier comes in. It gives you a bit of a code, and we've looked at there and followed the detail. We shall put that on the screen for you as well, so you can see what we were sort of working to.
So I'm just doing this radar bar in the corner that we're trying to decipher what we meant to do with the corners. But I just want to pick something up. We've had a comment recently about your bricky is always eating. Now, I don't quite know what you mean. All he does, he just gets on with his daily job and that's it. I can't understand what the problem is.
This makes me go a lot faster, this does.
Yeah. What brand you gone for? Oh, ready salted. Other brands are available. Just while Luke's finishing his block work, because there's only one course of block work, isn't there, Luke?
Yes.
And then engineering's on top of this one.
Yeah, 4 course of engineering.
Yeah, 4 course of engineering's right. So all I've been doing is trying to decipher what we think's best for this. So what I've done is I've put this one that goes between my legs here and behind me. I've cut this one up the corner and then wrapped it round and stuck it to this one. If I come round this way you can see it better. That's your overlap there now, look. Struck it all the way down there, vertical. Lapped it round and I've gone underneath this piece. And then I'll put another square then on top, over the top of that, and use the radon tape to seal that. And push that square into the compo. So that's as good as I can see we can do that. Like everything, they do a detail, but they never give you a detail like this. And if they do, we can't find one. Especially based on the one that we've used. There's a BRE BE 211 something or other. So we've searched it and we can't find anything. So this is what we come up with. And you just got to look at it logically, I suppose. You got to make sure you cover all the corners. A bit like if you're doing lead work, you got to make sure you cover all the points where the water can get in. So we're just trying to stop the gas getting in, aren't we? Or escaping from the floor up. So we'll leave this sticking up like that now. And then when the concrete's poured, we can then cut this and then lap it down on itself and then put something like that. If you imagine when you've done the slab, or we can just fold it, I suppose, like that. And then just put another square on top, but we'll probably cut it because we want it to sit flattish because the insulation will go on top of the concrete. So we want that to sit quite flat, even though it is going to be quite thick in that corner, so it may cause a bit of a rise of the insulation there, but there we are, I'll have to deal with that when we come to it. We're just going to look at the internal corner now, as he gets to that, and I'll do that while he's doing across here. So I'll cut another piece off that wall now to overlap, because I pinched a bit off it to do this one. And then we'll carry on along here. But we haven't found a detail yet as whether we've got to chop it in the brickwork, but our logic says that you've got to, somehow. So we'll do that. So what I decided to do then, get a piece and just form myself a bit of a corner. So all I simply did was, I just slit it in there and folded it on itself and stuck it down with some of the radon tape. And then I've just put the tape on all the way around the edges there to stick it to the bottom. Take all this off and then hopefully it'll stick. Should do, presuming it's designed to do exactly this. So I'll stick this down, as long as I don't stick my gloves to it. And we'll show you it in place in a minute. That's it installed. You can't really see now, it's just a massive yellow. But we've formed the corner and then put another piece on tight to the corner, and then gone up the face of the brickwork. And then where there was a few bricks missing, Luke's just took a couple of engineerings in, just in there. So we're going to come off that, and we don't know then. If the inspector said we've got to put a slot in the wall, then we're above the blocks, so we're happy. That's all we can do, isn't it, for now? So as we look at finishing our first course of blocks, that's what we're saying there. We try and get at least, I mean, we said 50mm, but when we start pushing and twisting this plastic, it's so stiff. We've ended up being about 30mm now, compound bed. And then we've just cut that round the corner like that and run it up the wall on that one. That seemed better than trying to form loads of pieces. So we'll finish this off, and then we're going to go over there, which we've just put the barrier on, in there, dock in the garage, and bring our blocks across there as well before we go today.
Right, it's a new day. So me and Richard work Saturday, and we've got all this block work around the bottom and up there, as well as the ride-on barrier in the bottom as well. So today I'm going to start the engineering bricks, so just to get that then up to DPC. So yeah, I've already started a bit of a corner there, so I'm going to get me another one there, another one at the back, and then just across the front of the rear of the garage as well, where that's going to divide that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get up to today. And there we go, that's all the engineering bricks round now, gone all round there and up there, across the back. So next job is infilling the middle of the extension now, so I can bring that ready up to the height for the subfloor. So I've now backfilled against the walls, as you can see there, and gone along the front as well. And then I've levelled out in the middle, so you can see I've covered all the rest of the drainage and stuff that you could see there. That's all now covered. So I'm going to bring some MOT in now and start bringing that up to the level that I need. I've also done the drainage around this side, which you can see there. And the grab's just been as well and got rid of all the rest of the spoil, so it's good. But yeah, starting to take shape now.
So I'm back at the job today, and he's already been busy, look. Been away. Huh? Yeah, by hand. Yeah. With your hands and your teeth.
Just in these buckets.
And you took it to the tip, 5 miles away. So he's had a grab this morning. I'm just back from 2 days with Matt at the extension job where he'd been taking the ceiling down, etc, etc. And I think you'll see that next week, actually. You'll see all that, and you'll see a bit more of Matt plastering. So let's go and have a look. You'd have seen some on the time-lapse camera. There we are. Brickwork's done there. You've already seen the concreting. Brickwork's done all around there, look. And then we start to get the hardcore in. Doesn't that look good? Nice and tidy. Get all the hardcore in, get it prepped, and then we're going to shutter this off like we've already talked about around the water pipe connection. And then hardcore, whacker. What else we've got to do? For now,
Polystyrene around the sides.
Polystyrene that in there.
Yeah. Then ready for the pour then.
And then ready for the pour. I'll get inspected, yes. Before the pour. Okay. Have you got that booked in already, or?
Not yet, Dad. Going to ring him today and see when he can.
Somebody can fit it in. Yeah. Nice one. Right. I'll get my bucket and my shovel, and I'll do what Luke's doing. I'll be just like you when I grow up. Go through the time lapse in. We've pea gravelled everything on top of this pipe that was through there. That's all been pea gravelled. You would have caught us do that. And then we've whacked it all down. I put a little bit of extra stud work around there and across there to stop that pushing in. Stop that pushing in. We put a bit of a timber up the side here to stop the stone falling into there. Pipe lagging around the pipe there, and we're going to put some sand over that now, Luke.
Yeah, sand.
Put some sand over that before we then put an extra layer of stone in there, because in there, which if you remember from earlier on the episode or previous episode, that is a thickening around the edge for the existing footing.
Yes.
And then that's got to be 150 though, lower than this one.
Yes, so it's 300mm worth of concrete we put it all around the outside instead of 150 in the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
So 150 extra.
Yeah, so at the minute, well, about 450, and we just got to, whatever, to bring us 150 below this level, we've got to lift that up, and then like you've just said, 300mm then, drop into there, 300mm of concrete in there then. Yeah. Because it's 150 on top of this, 300 on top of that.
Yeah, and then 2 layers of mesh.
2 layers of mesh, like we did before, when we did all this one, mesh on the bottom, Mars bar underneath that, 20mm bar, mesh on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be all round there. And then tying the mesh onto here.
Yes, yeah.
So that'll get tied onto there with the spacers.
Yeah, spacers on here, tied all to that, and then we're going to just put some bar all around the edge as well, aren't we? To tie
Yes,
that.
potentially put some, what we're going to work out is we'll get a height, an average height to the underside of these Z bars, and then maybe just drill a 20mm hole, maybe, into the wall. Like a bit of barring, just to support the end of the mesh, really, just so it remains sort of in the middle of the concrete-ish. Yeah. No, it's 50mm down, you said, didn't you? 50mm down from the top of the slab.
Yeah.
So it remains sort of 50mm even all the way around, and just obviously doesn't come above. We don't want that. If it drops a little bit lower, then, well, you know.
You're always going to get a bit because you have to tread all over it, don't you, when we're putting it in? So,
Yeah, of course, yeah,
so
of course.
you always get a bit, but...
So that's what we're going to do.
yeah, just got to try and stop away from the edges, I suppose. But,
That's all we can do, isn't it?
yeah.
So we'll crack on with that now. Get this stoned, whackered, start the mesh, and then hope for the sunshine stays out still. Lovely. I'm on my own today. Luke's having a well-deserved day off. Well, I say deserved. He don't really do much, does he? So I'm going to stop here for the day and get ourselves prepped, as we discussed, to start getting our inspection done tomorrow afternoon, and then concrete next week. Let's talk you through what I'm going to do first, and then I'll put the footage on, and then you can have a look. You may have noticed on the time lapse we stoned all this. So we're 150 now, thereabouts. It may be a little bit lower, but we've put a lot of stone in there because for some reason Luke said, I don't know why I've gone so deep there. But anyway, as a consequence, as a positive, whatever you want to call it, we've got plenty of stone in there. But say you may have seen us put this mesh in, put all the Mars bars down, put all the mesh in, tied it all lovely, and then took it back out again. Because we realised that we hadn't whacked it all because we were using the whacker and we got to about there and the belt went on the whacker. So we've got to get it repaired. So I put it in last night and went, oh, hang on, we've got to take it back out because we haven't whacked it. Because there's a lot of stone there, we can't not really. That's not just a covering on the dirt, so we need to cover it. So I've took it back out. We're getting a new belt today, and I shall get all this whacked first, and then put the mesh back in, which isn't too much. I can lift this one back in. We've kept that together, and then tie this one back in. I've then got to clean all the compo out of there. It's only sitting on the plastic, so that should be quite an easy job really without puncturing the radon barrier. And then I have got 3 sheets of 100mm polystyrene there that I'm going to put down the side against the brickwork. I'm not quite sure the idea behind that. I don't know whether it's just a space to form a cavity so there's no build up of compo. I don't know what it is. It's on the drawing, and Luke said it's always on the drawing. He's asked inspectors before and no one seems to know. So if anyone out there knows why we do that, I did sort of think, does it even the pressure across the brickwork because it's only single skin when you put the concrete on? Is that what it does? I don't know. And then but you're meant to take it back out again. Can't understand why. But there we are. Stick it in the comments if anybody knows the exact reason why we do that on this type of foundation. So I'll crack on with this, and then I've got to start putting my holes in around here, set the laser, put my holes in as we talked about earlier, and then I'll stick some 20mm or 18mm bar in, sit the mesh on top, and then get the Mars bars in. time lapse off, just give you a break from it. I hope you're enjoying the music though. So this is what I've been doing. I've drilled my bar into the walls there, knocked them in nice and tight, and then that gives me the point then to fix this wire. So as you can look at that, you can actually stand on that. Okay, you stand there, you bounce a little bit, but at least it's secure, so it's not going to start giving way, and it holds up where it's got to be. All I've done with these is make them a little bit safer. Rather than sit them like that, I've put them like that and double them over like that, so they're nice and sturdy now. They're a lot sturdier when we stand on them, so when I start starting out to do the concreting, it's not going to go anywhere. Done the same all the way around, put the bars quite close together and then tied it in. It's tied to all of the Z bars, and I've overlapped them as you meant to, 2 squares, and then tied them about every 300, I think I've tied it, cut it around the saw pipe there. I'll speak to Luke and see whether he wants to put any bar around it, but I think he'd be okay with that. I think he'd be happy with that. I'll speak to him tomorrow. And that's it. So all I'll do now, same again, I shall come two squares in again, cut it around this corner with that piece, or I might just turn it this way and run it this way now. You'll see it in the time lapse next anyway, what I decide to do. Or I might go and cut a new piece of mesh and see how far I can get this way with a new piece of mesh. We'll have a look at that. I don't want to waste mesh, so I want to try and use it as efficiently as I can. Once I get to this point, this will be a bit more simpler then, because this is quite small, so and I don't think that is a full sheet's width, so I'll be able to cut one sheet to width and just run it in its entire length. Only faff then is just getting around the saw pipe there, and I think that's it. And then hopefully, if I get all this done today, which hopefully I should, I can cut these in half and start sticking them down here. You will notice I've cleaned in the cavity now. That's all clean down there, a little bit of dust, but I think that's it. I'd noticed, and we noticed it actually when we took it out the roll, it wasn't us that's done this, see the bit of a hole there. So all I've done is I've just put, you'd have seen it again, put a patch on there. I just made a patch 150, and then make sure I was 150 either side, and then put the adhesive on. There was another little one at the bottom, so I've patched that one as well to make sure we've got no rips in it. The other thing I'm going to have to do is manipulate this corner a little bit, because not really knowing how it went in, and I should have asked Luke really, I put this and formed all the corner tight to the bar, the Z bars, but it's got to be 100mm there, so that's going to have to push in, so I might have to cut this, move it over and then repatch to make sure we're all tight, so make sure we don't get any voids when the concrete goes in against the polystyrene. So I'll crack on with this again, put the radio back on and get into a little bit of a metal cutting and tying zone. Mesh is all completed then. All over here, all the way around, tied to all the Z bars, tied to all my perimeter bars that I knocked into the wall. I had to move those down because I'd obviously clearly picked the wrong course to put the bolts in, so I had to move them down, as you can see, by about 4 inches or so. Couldn't work out what I'd done wrong there, but then I realised. So there we have it. As far as I'm aware, other than when Luke comes and check it, that's it. That's what it's got to be. Got to put a bit of something over that pipe still, as we talked about. A little bit more difficult now, but there we are. We have to get this done. And what I'm start to do now is I'm going to start to cut all the polystyrene that goes in here, all the way around, and hopefully less back aching than that just was. I'm ready for my first inspection in the morning then, which will be Luke when he comes back. I've had to cut and carve this. I've cut it all the way down the centre, and then what I did is I put the upright pieces on that you can see, these are here, and then to seal the bottom back in I formed a bit of a intricate corner made sure I put the radon tape all over the place. I put radon tape at the bottom of the hole as well, on the square that I'd left in from the existing, and then taped it all back in again. And that's all, I'm happy with that. That's good. Hopefully the inspector will like it as well. Well, the reason for that was because I'd done it tight to the metalwork and not tight to the insulation. So lesson learnt on that one. I've put the polystyrene everywhere. I had to, in the end, I had to cut, nearly fell over then, a little piece off the top of that one there, even though that's more than high enough anyway, so it's still too high, because we just cut sheets in half, just to put in there, that little piece there, look, see it? We had to put a little piece in there, and that's 3 sheets. I had literally a 25mm by 10mm piece left over, which I had to cut out this one just to go over the brickwork at the bottom to make sure it was tight. So I am pleased, so we'll wait and see what Luke says in the morning. New day, and the first inspection has gone okay, I think. Are we happy? Or
Oh yeah.
It's good enough, I suppose.
Yeah.
What's
not quite up
the
to
building inspector say?
It's not quite up to my side of the
Satisfactory.
satisfactory.
We had a building inspector come out, and we try your best to make sure the site's clean and make sure everything's exactly how it should be. And he went, yes, that's satisfactory. I went, satisfactory? Come on, better than that. Anyway, so we've had a satisfactory. So our building inspector comes this afternoon, but we wanted to point out a couple of things before it's commented, guaranteed to be commented on shortly once the video goes out. Okay, so those people that have done foundations before will be thinking, hang on, there's something missing now. We mentioned the stages before about the makeup of floors. Now, there's 2 things missing off when we get to this stage at the moment, and that is the sand blinding, which normally goes to the top of the stone, and the first layer of DPM. Now, it's impossible.
Yeah.
You can't do it on this one.
No.
When we talked about the makeup of floor, that was a traditional floor makeup. That was my naivety, not thinking about or not knowing the fact that you can't do it on this because it's physically impossible. Because if you put sand on there and your membrane, you can't, because you've got to get to that. Now, then when you put your membrane on that one, on that toe,
And
so
you'd have to flow it between the Z bars as well, and I don't know how you'd ever get that seal. You know what I mean?
No, you
Because
wouldn't.
it'd never work, would it? And the chances of ripping it on the ties as well.
Yeah.
There'd be,
so it's just pointless.
Wouldn't it?
It just yeah, absolutely pointless. So therefore, when you look at the makeup of the picture I put on the screen, that's why we're missing the sand and the first DPM. Now, you've got to bear in mind that we have got this radon barrier, which is just as thick. In fact, it's thicker than DPM, and that's got to be airtight or gas tight. So when that goes on top of the slab, okay, we've lost our first layer of DPM, but don't forget there's this one on top of the slab under the insulation, and another one on top of the insulation under the screed. So we've got 2 to come. So we're not concerned about that at all.
It's hard to get your head from doing like just a standard foundation
Yeah.
sometimes with the 3 layers. Then with
Yeah,
this,
it is.
It's slightly different when you don't do it for a
It
long
is.
time.
So
isn't it?
that's why we just thought you mentioned that, because I asked the question, and then Luke, as he just said there, said, well, where would you put it and how would you stop it ripping when you got to pour this much to it? And it makes sense. That's it then.
Cracking job.
Right, we'll let you know how we got on with the inspector next, and then the footage you'll see after this is going to be pouring the concrete slab, and then after that it's going to be block work, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there we go, and then once we've done the block work up to brickwork height there, that's this job done, isn't it?
Yep.
So there we are then.
Until got to come back and screed the floor.
Come out and screed the floor,
Yeah. And then apart from that, yep.
Yeah, so that's it then. Another job done.
Yeah.
Well done, mate. Well, I'm hoping you're going to catch it on the other camera over there. But we were first concrete pour today, and they said between 7:30 and 7:15. And when I got here, it just gone 7:20. They're already here, already set up, and already pouring concrete. Luckily, Luke had come at 7:10 to get the lasers and stuff set up, and met them. So there we are. They don't mess about, that's for sure. It's a company called SS Concrete. They've got their own pumps, and they travel everywhere because they're going to the garage conversion after this for us as well, which is further away than here. We'll let these guys crack on, and I can help Luke then. There we are then, first job of the day. Bit of a concrete pour in the sunshine. A bit fresh, because it's still early. I don't think it's 8:20 yet. So there we are, that job's all done. Just going around cleaning all the tools and just making sure there's no big splatters on the brickwork. There is a bit there, Luke. I've just noticed. I'll have the brush off you in a minute. There's a bit this side. Because although they're good lads and they, you know, they'll crack on, they're a bit gun-ho. They just want to get in and get out. So I suppose they've probably got that many jobs to do today, because as I said earlier, they're coming to us later on again this afternoon. So yeah, just have to watch what they're doing, that's all. But they are a good bunch of lads. Right then, so we'll go now to our extension, and I'm going to be tacking the ceiling with Matt and trying to fill the skip before we then go on to our garage conversion this afternoon. Next footage after this then will be Luke, might be me, which depends what we do with our splitting our labour, and we're doing the block work, and then that is it for this job. I've enjoyed this one. Well, another fresh morning, but our concrete is looking lovely. I thought I need to move this out of the way actually. Bit of a temporary, oh, nice, still watering that. Need to move that out of our way. Right, where were we? Before I trip over it. Apart from a bit of water on the floor. So we're back now to do our block work that just goes on here now. So 30 mil in from this, because the cavity, if you remember, was 130 mil. Nobody knows why, but it is. I thought it was 100 mil PIR or 150 mil with the Icky Rockwell stuff, but there we are. We do what the architects have to say, don't we? So we've got no choice. First job though, other than getting all the gear back out, because we had a bit of a clean up ready for the concrete, is getting this polystyrene out. That's got a bit of a task in itself. So we're going to give that a go, and hopefully it comes out all right. We're hoping that the friction against this radon barrier, or the lack of friction, we might be okay, but obviously you got the pressure of the 150 mil, 160 mil of concrete against the bottom. Oh, let's see if we can get it out then. So there it is, job complete. I didn't leave the time lapse on fully for all of the block work because I thought, well, you've already seen that. I run my radon barrier into a slot, compound it in, and then he's put his block against it and put it flat. We cut it here in the corner, as we're going to, and then I taped it all back, put the blocks on top of it. What else? Oh, the first job, the insulation came out all right. Didn't come out too bad at all,
No,
did it?
no.
It was a lot easier than we thought. A little bit of a mess, but once we got one little bit out, we could lever it out. Used a bit of wood so we didn't damage the radon barrier, and that come out lovely. So all the block work is complete now. As you can see, that's bifolds there. So if you didn't know, on the internal block work, this is concrete slab. Your insulation now goes all the way in to get external brickwork, so there's no cold spot there. That's why you do that. Insulation doesn't go against the block work and then you put your doors on. No, and form a step. It goes like that, and you screed up to your doors over the top of the insulation. You generally put your cavity closers on here once the insulation's on, and over there, and then when you pour your screed on top of your insulation, it flows into here and it's all nice. That's why we've done that. That's why, as you can see there, oh, another thing that's why we've done. That there is our cavity fill, is it called, Luke? Yeah.
Yep.
And it should go 225 below damp.
Yeah.
You know, all the way around. So we've done that all the way around. This one here in the doorway is the same level as the concrete. So when the insulation runs over, there's no void under the insulation. That does need topping up slightly. So the cavity fill's done all the way around there, using a lean mix, I'm told. Again, that's level. This is complete. This is the same. We cut a slot into there, and then we need to just put what's sitting there, don't we, Luke?
What's that?
We
Sorry.
didn't put
Oh, a bit of mortar.
what's sitting there.
Yeah.
That side, we've got compo in it, so we're all right that side. But this side, I forgot there's a doorway there, so we just need to put a bit of gunk in that just to put all the radon barrier there. And then when we come to put the insulation on, radon barrier goes on top of this one and tapes to this one. All the way up the wall. Insulation goes on. DPM again. Then screed. And at that point we'll be able to come back and do this. Just a little bit of concrete in there, connect this concrete in there. But we're probably months away from that yet, aren't we?
Yeah. They want to be complete. Well, they've got to take that temporary kitchen out from there, haven't they? Put a new one in.
Yeah, because this is all coming out from here, isn't it, Luke? Is that from there?
Yeah.
All that nib, this across here, and all the way to there is all coming out, and the steel's got to go in. But obviously that's not our job, so we won't be here for that. Anything else to say?
Just hope I've enjoyed it. Really, it's been.
Yes, I have. Yeah. Are you talking to them or me?
Well, both.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Well.
I really enjoyed it. We will try and add on doing the radon barrier on the floor and the insulation, the screed, maybe tag it onto bonus footage, maybe, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Onto the job we're doing at the time when we come back to do this, because we have also got to go back and do rendering and a patio at the last job that I did on Mr. A Builders. That was my customer there, so we've got to go and do that. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, obviously, because we have still got garage conversion coming up, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's not on the channel yet. That is coming up soon. We have got a few weeks away yet from completing that, but we've certainly got 2 videos going already, or done already, should I say. But we want to try and keep our jobs together, so we're not spreading them out too far. So you remember what's gone on. Hence, doing this one 2 parts is now finished. This is the last one. Then we'll go back to tip the extension.
Yep.
Can't we?
Yep.
And then finish that. But we're waiting for the kitchen. We may have to come away, go into the garage conversion.
Yep.
And then film that in a series, because the kitchen will have to wait. So there we are. We have already mentioned it, but we hope you've enjoyed this 2-part series. If you haven't seen the first part, it'll be on the screen now as an end screen. So click on that, look at the first part, and then what we've been talking about may make more sense. My apologies again. I edited half of this last night and realised that the concrete, when I poured the concrete for the slab, didn't get filmed. You may have just about caught it when I started talking when I first arrived, but unfortunately it didn't capture on the camera. So my apologies for that, because I think a bit of concreting looks quite a good time lapse with a bit of music on it. But there we are. It is what it is. We will see you on the next one.